and then I'll delete the row. To select a row, remember it's space shift, and then to delete that row is control minus. That's how you delete a row. So what if I want to create the month of July and enter the details for July? To do that, I'll also need to go through two steps. I will have to select the column I want to insert a column before, which is in this case the account manager column, and then I will insert the column. So to select a column, it's control space, not shift space this time around. It's control space. But to insert is the same command, control shift plus. And that's how you insert a column. So I'm going to enter the July details. Then I'll proceed to type in the different revenue values for the clients. But in this case, I'm not going to do that. Once again, I will decide I need to delete these. I don't need it anymore. We just begun July. I don't have data for July until end of July. So to delete these, it's the same process. Control Shift to select the entire column I want to delete, and Control minus to delete. So let's move on. What if I want to total the revenue for all these clients, and the different months? So I'm going to create another entry, total. Now, there's a keyboard shortcut for doing auto summation. It's going to, as long as you have numbers, a range of numbers without any break, the auto summation is going to work out of box. So I'm going to put the next cell after the last number, in this case this cell. That is where I'm going to do the auto summation keyboard shortcut. The auto summation keyboard shortcut is Alt plus equal to, then I'll press enter. So that's how you auto sum. It's going to do the summation of all these numbers and put the value here for me. And I can do it again for February. Alt equals to, enter. So what if I have many other months, say from January to December, and I don't want to keep doing it one after the other for each month? I've done for February. I want to be able to copy what I've done for February and somehow make it happen for the other months. Also, there's a keyboard shortcut for that. In fact, there are two ways to do it, two easy ways to do it. I'm going to show you the easier of the two ways first, which is using your mouse. So I'll come to the February one, and I'll place my mouse right on top of this small rectangle at the lower right corner of this cell, which is this rectangle. You will notice that my mouse pointer has changed to a solid black rectangle, solid black cross. Then I'll click down and drag to the right. Voila. And to make it show, I'll double click here, and double click here, and double click here. So that's how you drag. We call it dragging a formula. You drag a formula from one cell across cells adjacent to it to repeat what you've done there for those other cells. So what is the other way to go about doing this? So I'm going to undo. To undo is Ctrl Z. I'll do it as many times as I need. Okay. And so the proper keyboard shortcuts to do that will be, I will select starting from the cell that has the formula I want to put in the other cells. Then I'll begin to select to the other cells I want those formulas to be in. Once I've made the selection, all I'll do is Ctrl R. Does the same thing, drags the formula from February to the other months. So once again, I can come here to make those things show. Double click here, double click here. So this is how you drag formulas across cells. Just so you know, the last one I did, the Ctrl R, only drags formula from across rows to the right. You can't use it to drag a formula downwards. To drag a formula downwards, there's another command for that, which is Ctrl D. So just wanted you to know that. Next, I'm going to show you some cool ways of moving data, moving cell entries from one place to the other. So to do that, I'll want to copy out Lafarge's entry. So I'm going to select the entry for Lafarge. I'll copy it, then I'll paste it here. So what if I decide, no, I don't want it to be here. I want this Lafarge entry to be maybe way down. I want it somewhere around here. So instead of doing Ctrl X to cut and then doing pasting somewhere else, I can simply select the Lafarge entry and I'll come to the edge of the border, click on it and begin to move. So I'll move my mouse pointer to wherever you'll notice that I have this indicating where the cell is going to be if I release my left mouse. So if I'm okay with this position, then I'll release. This is where it will be. It will no longer be here. So I'll move it downwards. Now you will notice that whenever I scroll down, especially to be useful for this table, you'll notice whenever I scroll down, my pizza sold, everything here scrolls out of view. So what if I want it to remain in view? Because I would like to keep seeing what this 2000 stands for, what these two stands for. To do that, I will need to freeze this particular group of cells. I'll need to freeze this row, in fact. So to freeze, there's a keyboard shortcut for that. I'll come to the next cell after the row I want to freeze. So what I want to freeze everything above this mid-cell. I want everything here to remain, to be fixed, I want it frozen. I don't want them to scroll out of view. So to do that, I'll do, the keyboard shortcut is Alt W F F. So you'll notice as I keep scrolling, the pizza sold remains, this part remains in view. It doesn't scroll out of view. So that is how you freeze a group of cells or a row. So to undo that, to remove the freezing, once again all I will do is Alt W F F. Now it's back to the way it was. So that is how you freeze and unfreeze rows or group of cells. So let's go back to this table. So what if I make changes to these? I change it to another company. I change it to Morgan Stanley. Here's Morgan Stanley in Nigeria now. So then I change some of the values, update the values to what the values are for Morgan Stanley. Okay, so I'm done updating the values, and I also update the account manager. So what if I need to move this entry into this table? So what if I need to move this entry into this table? And in this case, I'll have to move it to above MTN. Now, you might be tempted to do what I did the last time, which is select this entry for Morgan Stanley and begin to drag it up. Now, if I drop it here, expecting it to push MTN down and insert itself there, it won't. See what will happen? I'll get a notification that do I want to replace the content of this destination cell. If I click on OK, it's going to replace what I have in MTN. So it's more like I've deleted MTN and put that entry there, which is not what I want to do. So what I'll do is when I come to the border and I click down, I'm going to hold also the shift key. So what I'm going to do is when I'm dragging, I'll hold down the shift key. So I've held down the shift key, then I'll move up to where I want to place it. I want to place it just above MTN. So I'll release the shift key and the mouse pointer at the same time. Voila. So that is how you do that. Okay, so let's move on. So what if I copy just these two rows? I'm going to do a copy, Ctrl C, then I'll paste right here, Ctrl V to paste. Then after doing whatever I want to do with it, I decide I don't need it anymore. I'm going to delete. So to delete, you press on the delete key. But you will notice that after deleting, I still have these borders and shading, this background color there. So how do I remove this? When you want to remove also the formatting, you don't just want to delete the cell entries, you want to delete everything, including the borders, the background color. There's a keyboard shortcut for that. So I'm going to undo the delete I did, Ctrl Z. Now to do the complete, it's called erasing. To do a complete erasing of everything here, the keyboard shortcut is Alt H E A. So it erases what I have here. You can see everything is gone, the cell entry, the borders, the background color. And lastly, if you want to see the command in a particular cell, you want to edit a command in a cell, let's say this particular cell that has total, there's a keyboard shortcut to access the command. You notice by selecting this cell, I am not seeing the command. I will have to come over here to see the command. But if I don't want to come over here to edit the command, I want to edit it right inside here. There are two ways. I can press F2 and then I can begin to edit the command to change it to whatever I want it to be. If I want to change it from sum to average, I can do that. So once I'm done, I click on enter and it's done. I'm going to undo that, Ctrl Z. The other way, it's just right clicking into the cell and voila, I can change the command. So that is it for this video. I have many other keyboard shortcuts I use, but I don't want to overload you. This one are the simple ones. These are the ones I use a lot, and I'm sure there are ones you can easily find use for, even if you are not a Power Excel user. So once again, thank you for watching this video. The next video obviously is going to be the request you make, and don't forget to subscribe to our blog